Hey guys, and welcome back to a new Accumulation Zone trade recap. Today I will be recapping the trades I executed today on USD JPY. But before we get started, I wanted to show you guys a daily chart where we had a indirect bearish engulfing right here on this candle. So today we've been doing, all the price action has done today was dropping. We did not pull back into this candle's body right here. We open and we closed this daily candle right here, open it up, had a minor retracement and just continued further down dropping. Eventually I want to see this low being taken out, but that's enough for that. Let's go down to a 15-minute chart and turn on our indicators. So here we have the Session Pro indicator. It's a free accumulation zone indicator. And now let's check the setup we had here this morning. So first of all, if we get started, we see the Asian session low right here during the Asian kill zone from 8 p.m. New York local time here, UTC -5 New York. The Asian session low and the Asian session high right where it opened up. It's not the whole Asian session, I'm aware of it, but it's the kill zone that I'm looking at that my strategy is based on. So we saw at the beginning of the London session, we took out this Asian session low, and towards the middle, right at 3 on the 15-minute candle at 3 a.m. New York local time, we took out the high and reversed to continue for further down. Right now, we're forming some sort of a rising wedge, so we could eventually see this thing either reversing fully on us to continue back up right to the 144 EMA, since we haven't touched it for quite some time now, and would be healthy to get back to the average, or maybe pull back to the VWAP before continuing further down. That's the outlook I currently have on USD JPY. And if we break it down to a 5-minute chart, you see my executions. So let's get up the indicators and watch what price action did here. So I set my alert on the Asian session low right here prior to the London kill zone, and my alert was triggered right here at 2:05. So I was already anticipating that this low might just be tapped before actually breaking out into the short direction, because what market makers like to do is they like to fake out short traders who have short orders positioned right below the slow, so they're waiting and manipulating price right at 2 a.m. New York local time down into the Asian session low. Once I saw that, I was immediately looking for potential reversal setups. And if we look at the stochastic RSI, right around this time when we broke the Asian session low, we saw the stochastic RSI was bullish, it was oversold. So I was waiting for my bullish crossover, and I got my bullish crossover right here at 2:15. So the first 15-minute cycle after the 2 a.m. opening is already done and over with. The Scalper Pro turned bullish. We got a bullish divergence signal on the Scalper Pro as well. And yeah, so I entered here. I used a 20 pip stop loss to also count in for the spread below the slow, and that I don't want to be basically faked out here. So I took this long position for a 2-to-1 risk reward. It was 2-to-1 risk reward would have been hit below the 144 EMA. I know it's a long position below the VWAP and below the 144 EMA. It's not 100% according to the rules, but I was looking forward to this thing to trap short traders. All the other indicators were lining up, and you have to say that a exponential moving average usually tends to be very slow, you could say, very slow. So for it to change and for price to cross over the 144 EMA, it's gonna take some movement. There's nothing in the world that could tell me that I'm not getting long into the straight after faking out the Asian session low. Eventually we formed a double bottom here, a W formation. If we check the 1-minute chart, we can see the price action a little bit better. We formed a beautiful double bottom. Let me actually close this tab again. Pull down the Scalper Pro. We turned bullish right after we formed our second bottom in. Right here, we also had a bullish stochastic RSI crossover, so you could have also traded on a 1-minute chart for some extra confirmation. I entered in a little bit early before the double bottom was completely confirmed. That's why I gave it a little bit bigger stop loss than usual. Usually I like to go for a 15 pip stop loss. So we took out the Asian session low, which also was the previous day low. Monday, Tuesday, we did not see any price action around this level. So this is our current weekly low. We bounced off of it, triggered shorts into the market right here at 2 a.m., reversed on them prior to the London opening right here at 3, where we touched the 144 EMA, faked a few long traders into a long position above the Asian session high. Ideally, we would like to see a double top or a M pattern basically above the Asian session high for a reversal entry. The Scalper Pro also gave us our reversal entry right here. We entered back into the Scalper Pro band right on this candle for a short position. You could have taken it. Those reversal entries are higher risk entries, and if you take them, you don't consider reversal entries like this one here, even though it would have worked out to bring you back down to the Asian session low. You really want to, for example, here, unfortunately, we did not break this low, so we also had confirmation that this thing is not ready to collapse yet. We already broke the low here, but the Scalper Pro did not match up with what we saw on the chart today. So I did not take a short trade, also because the stochastic RSI was massively oversold. And yeah, we got our bearish divergence here on the stochastic RSI as well. While we still made a low here, we didn't even see this here on the stochastic RSI. It was pretty much non-existent here on a 5-minute chart. I'm not checking the 1-minute chart now. So yeah, we touched the Asian session high. We did not close above the 144 EMA. We held beautiful resistance. We got a reversal signal right here on the Scalper Pro with a bearish crossing stochastic RSI. So that would be another confirmation. This time we're also below the 144 EMA. We pulled back to it. We basically pumped it up prior to the London Open to trap traders long, to eventually just reverse it on them. And remember, someone has to lose money in order for someone else to make money. And what easier thing there is to do for market makers to fake pump it up, to dump it down on them, so that all those long traders that are positioned long right around here get trapped into the market long, to just reverse it on them. Same as I did here. They trapped traders short at the beginning of the London kill zone to reverse it on them. So usually before a valid breakout, you are going to find a fake out to the downside, a fake out to the upside, before eventually breaking down to the downside. And if we look right around here, the Scalper Pro turned bearish right on this candle, but we saw the stochastic RSI did not match up with our entry yet, so I did not enter short into this trade right here. I waited for the stochastic RSI to slowly pull back. The Scalper Pro turned green again. We had some resistance right around the VWAP level. We indirectly engulfed those bullish candles right around at this candle. We had our bearish stochastic RSI crossover. The Scalper Pro turned red as well on the exact same candle. So I entered short right here towards the end of the London kill zone. It's 450. So we could see hourly traders catching up with the momentum here, because right here the hourly candle is closing on this candle, and we saw, okay, we broke the 2 a.m. low. We formed right here at the beginning of our kill zone. We broke this low. So hourly traders, when the new hour is closing, they see a new lower low being formed and they enter short into the market. And I jumped onto this momentum right here, since we already trapped short traders here and long traders here. They might be exhausted, for example, and hourly traders jump into this market short, move it further back down, and here we have it. So we had our bearish Scalper Pro and our bearish stochastic RSI crossover for a beautiful valid short entry below the 144 EMA and below the Session Pro VWAP. Very simple trade setup. I know this trade did not match the rules, only the rules with the EMA and the VWAP, and sometimes I allow myself to take trades like these if everything's matching up. If we are looking for a fake out breakout reverse opportunity here. Very nice setup. You could have also taken a reversal short down here as soon as the Scalper Pro gets back into the band. And of course you want some confluence with it, and you have your confluence right here. We had a overbought stochastic RSI that beautifully crossed over right when we got officially rejected off that 144 EMA with a beautiful down close candle right here. The Scalper Pro reversed back into the scalping band, and we also tapped the Asian session high. So this would have been a beautiful reversal entry right up here, or a simple continuation entry prior to the 1 hour close on a hourly chart, catch up with some momentum after we trapped short traders and long traders. They might be exhausted right at the beginning of the London session, and they maybe have thrown a towel and said, I'm not going to continue trading this London kill zone. And that's when the market broke down, and we got positioned beautifully with our simple rules. So even if you wouldn't have taken this trade, that's more one of my setups, but if you would have stick to all the rules, you would have still had one beautiful 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio trade here on USD JPY. Prior to that, you wouldn't have had any proper moves here. We were bullish on the Scalper Pro right here, and we held support above the VWAP, but everything's indicating that this thing wants to drop further down. We got it eventually. Right now we're forming some sort of a pennant. Let me actually redraw this line here. We will see if this is an actual break. And right now we are very close to turn bearish on this Scalper Pro. We also got a squeeze confirmation right here. Consolidation. We have a bearish stochastic RSI crossing over. We will see what we get during the New York kill zone, because I'm not trading outside of these ranges. Very simple trade setup today on USD JPY. Let's move over to a Bitcoin USDT chart, because yesterday I released a profitable crypto trading strategy on a 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin USDT and Ethereum USDT. The results speak for themselves. They're really good. And this morning we got a short signal or a sell signal right here on the hourly Bitcoin USDT chart with a trade that never really saw much of a drawdown. We're running in profit. We already hit our 1-to-1 risk reward ratio here with this wick. So I'm really looking forward to it. If you want a free trial for this indicator, you can simply click on the link in the description box below, and you can get your 1-day free trial to play a little bit around with the strategy, test the test results for yourself, and you will see how profitable the strategy really is. Alright guys, before we finish this video, let's look at one more chart. Let's, for example, today we look at GBP USD. I like trading GBP USD. It's also a very technical pair. And let's see if we can find the same patterns that we saw on USD JPY today during the price action on GBP USD, just to prove to you guys how reproducible this setup is if you work with boxes and kill zones. So basically what we had here today is we had our Asian session high formed right here at the right before the midnight close, and we took it out. So we've been already above the Asian session high right here, or the Asian kill zone. It's not really the session. So we open up right here at New York local time midnight with a bearish Scalper Pro and a bearish stochastic RSI, forming a M pattern right up here, a beautiful M formation, taking this thing lower. We also have our Asian session low right here, formed with this wick. And we've got the same pattern. Already we took out the high first, reversed all the way down to the Asian session low. And from here, we bounce back up with 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes, another pullback for another 4th push continuation trade. And let's see what setups we received during the London kill zone after taking out this low. Maybe we already got an entry down short. So let's actually look at it. We had a bearish Scalper Pro the whole time. Alright, now we're looking for our first bearish crossover. And we got our first bearish crossover right here on this candle. So if you would have entered without even thinking about what is the context around your London kill zone, did we already take out the Asian session high? Are we working towards the Asian kill zone low? Yes, no. just the first question I usually ask myself. We got a bearish divergence signal here on the Scalping Pro as well. So right here on this candle could have been our entry short right here at the close of this candle, with our stop loss at the swing high maybe, or let's 11 pips, let's do a 10 pip stop loss. I like to keep it at round numbers, and we're looking for a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Would have been a valid trade entry if you would have picked out your Asian session low. It wouldn't have been a take profit at somewhere all the way down below this Asian session low. It's just 2-to-1 risk reward ratio of a 20 pip profit, and that's only 3 pips below the Asian session low. And usually price likes to come down further than 3 or 4 or 5 pips below the Asian session low. Not every time, but most of the time. After which we formed a beautiful double bottom pattern right here that we retested with this retest right here. So we already hit our take profit on the first trade, made a nice little setup with a short trade right on this candle. And let's see how we continued. So the Scalping Pro basically stayed bearish for the whole time, for the whole period of this London kill zone until pretty much 4:55, the last candle, where we could have entered into a long position, but I usually avoid trades like this because your stop loss would just be too big. If you place it at the most recent swing low, if you place it here with a smaller stop loss of 17 pips, maybe we could go for a 15 pip stop loss, because you have to think about we still have to reach back up to those old highs, and if your 2-to-1 risk reward ratio is somewhere up here because your stop loss is so big, there's no point in doing this. So if we were looking for a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, we would have hit take profit. Let's use this whole candle as our stop loss. 2 risk reward ratio would, and we would have yeah, it would still have triggered. The question now is if it would have still been a take profit hit with our spreads and everything and commissions, but it would have been at least a profitable trade. We bounced off the VWAP for one more time with a new bullish stochastic RSI crossover. It's outside the London kill zone, so it would have been a nice entry right here into this next move to the upside. 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes into the high of the day, where we might see this thing reversed. Right now we're forming some sort of a bullish flag pattern. So let's see what's happening today during the New York kill zone. We got a new bearish divergence signal right here as well. So we will find out what's happening. But both of those trades would have played out, even if this one would have been a very close call. At least you could have closed it in profits. But yeah, very simple setup. So remember, the Asian session high and the Asian session low are important for ideal trade setups, because you're not going to look for a take profit that's all the way somewhere down here if you're aware of what the Asian kill zone low can do with price. And see how we bounced off this level here on GBP USD. And if we go back to USD JPY, we saw the same thing. We had our Asian kill zone high and low. We took out the low, we took out the high, and we reversed. Very simple setup, very simple concepts. Alright guys, that's it for me for this trade recap today on Thursday, November the 24th. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next Accumulation Zone trade recap.